Little Mermaid, the trailer came out for Little Mermaid. And it is a remake of the Little Mermaid that I have never seen. I guess, what is it, 90s, 80s, something? Yeah,
You've never seen The Little Mermaid?
Nah, I wasn't a Disney kid. Have you seen it, Ted?
Nope.
Yeah. I've never
Oh
seen.
my goodness.
But it's animated, right?
Yeah, it's
Very
a
much
cartoon
so.
or
I don't
whatever.
really watch animation. I don't find it yeah, it's not for me.
But no,
Oh
but
my
like back in
goodness.
the day, this is like back in the day, the original, the girl, the Ariel or whatever her name is. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever her name is, how dare you?
Oh,
She is the daughter of Triton. You will not. Come on, that was a whole song. They sang a song about her name. How dare you?
oh, geez, I didn't know. I didn't know. So there are people who are outraged that Halle Bailey is playing, I guess, Ariel. They're really upset and they're angry, and it's all over social media and blah 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 blah, and they're in their feelings and so on. And of course, this happens. This is why I'm not a big fan of like even superhero films or animated films because their fan base, they're like really intense. And I never forget
Yes.
many years ago, I was a film critic, and I gave a Harry Potter film a bad review, and they called me all types of N words, and they said that N word should be reviewing Akilah and the Bee and Tyler Perry movies. I'm telling you, they are very. I'm not joking.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Boundaries. What about the boundaries? And that's what they said, because at the time my film reviews were they were aggregated on Rotten Tomatoes, and at one point you could comment on Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes had to shut down all the comments because I was getting so many racist comments. Right? It was really really crazy. So I don't. I guess I got some trauma around that. Like I just don't really get into those kind of movies like that. And I wasn't a big Disney kid. I was watching horror films when I was like 10 years old. So anyway, this there is this complaint. And I've never played a clip from this guy or their outlet, Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire, and he has some thoughts about the Black Little Mermaid. I want you to hear this, and I want us to talk about it. Listen to this.
If we all agreed that race in films and TV shows, especially fictional stories, don't matter, and we're going to take a kind of colorblind casting approach, and it doesn't matter as long as the actor is good. If we could all agree on that, then I'd be on board. And as I said, that's basically what it was for many years, what it was back in the 90s. Also, by the way, with The Little Mermaid, can we also just mention that just from a scientific perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have someone with darker skin who lives deep in the ocean. I mean, if anything, not only should The Little Mermaid be pale, she should actually be translucent. If you look at deep sea creatures, they're like translucent. They have no kind of pigmentation whatsoever. And they're just like these horrifying, they look like skeletons floating around in the ocean. That's what The Little Mermaid should look like. She should be totally pale and skeletal, where you can see her skull through her face. And that would actually be a version of Little Mermaid that I would watch.
Are you dumb?
Joelle.
Yes, darling. Here's the thing. Go ahead, Matt Walsh. Go off, because you know he gonna watch it. You know he gonna watch it, and you know he love himself a Black woman. You can tell by every fiber of his being. I can tell what he be looking at when his wife ain't looking. So yeah, no, that's hilarious. I love that he said from a scientific perspective. Yeah, the science of the mermaids. Yes, the scientific perspective of the mermaids. But my favorite was a tweet. Somebody said, after all the Africans y'all threw in the ocean, y'all surprised that a mermaid is Black? There you go. So I'll co-sign on that one. But yeah, they say it's like free publicity. They do this on purpose. They make these controversies on purpose so that you can have all the marketing in the world for your film. So kudos to Matt Walsh for giving out some marketing for the Little Mermaid movie that he's definitely going to watch.
What are your thoughts, Ted?
It's laughable in a way. It is the lunacy of white supremacy. Like, it's so insane that he is literally trying to cite science for make-believe. Like, it's literally made up. Like, What are you talking about? Like, you're going to try to like talk about some type of scientific fact for a cartoon? Really, a cartoon character, right? I mean, it's ludicrous. It's insane. It is screaming white fragility, and they just cannot stand representation. Like, when we talk about something that looks equal or diversity, like, it's just too much for them. It's overload, And I think that when he said, he could get behind her being translucent, anything but black is the point, right?
Yes.
Even if she's not white, just don't let her be a Negro, and then I'll be okay with it.
You know what's interesting to me is that at one point, I don't have his comments memorized, he said something like, as far as, that's the way that it used to be, as far as
the 90s
characters, as far as let me just give a little bit of Hollywood history. Natalie Wood played Maria in West Side Story, a full-blown white woman in West Side Story. That's considered one of the greatest films of all time. Natalie Wood. Let's not forget Laurence Olivier playing Othello, basically in blackface. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget Angelina Jolie playing Marianne. What was her name? Marianne Pearl in the movie A Mighty Heart back in 2007. Let's not forget Elizabeth Taylor, famously playing Cleopatra. I think what we get into is this whataboutism, not realizing there's a long history of white actors preferred over black actors for black roles that are, it's important for them to be black. I never forget, a couple years ago, there was a producer that said, when trying to get the Harriet Tubman film made, a big Hollywood producer said, could we get Julia Roberts?
Yep.
So let's not act like there is this long history of black actors taking over the roles of white actors. Now, if it is specific to the character, that the character's racial identity, then obviously it shouldn't be a black actor. You're not going to have Idris Elba playing Lyndon B. Johnson. Obviously, that isn't going to happen because it's important that Lyndon B. Johnson be a white dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we do want him to play Bond.
Right, play Bond. Right. You're not going to have freaking Viola Davis playing Susan B. Anthony, like clearly. But trying to get into this is a fictional Disney character of a girl who lives in the freaking ocean.
Yeah.
Running around singing and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you even had Mickey Rooney back in the day playing an Asian character. And it wasn't just like character, but it was like these teeth and eyes. And it was really disrespectful. The way that white people played Asian characters as well. It's been around for since, to your point, the beginning of Hollywood, it's the beginning of film. That's always been.
Katharine Hepburn played an Asian character in a movie called I think it was Dragon Seed, 1944. This has been a long. It's so ahistorical. Yep. It's so crazy that Halle Bailey playing a fictional mermaid in the sea who happens to sing. Talking about science, first of all, there are no mermaids. Second of all, there's nothing in the sea that sings.
Right.
You
can't sing in the sea.
So what the hell?
Sing in the sea. Yeah, and I also like the opposite of it. Amanda Stenberg, she was in the Hunger Games, the pretty actress. They were going to cast her, I think, for the role of Shuri in Black Panther. And she stepped away from the role because she said, my skin is too light for that because Wakanda was never colonized. So we want to talk about a scientific perspective. That makes sense, because you talk about the science of a fictional country, but they weren't colonized. So it wouldn't make sense for me to be light-skinned in Wakanda. I totally respected her for that, for going the opposite route, not just taking a role for no reason.
And it's also this thing of why do they think that, considering that white children have had everybody from Snow White to Cinderella to Little Red Riding Hood to whoever else, do we think white children, do they, it's the parents obviously, or the adults, are white children going to be traumatized by seeing a black Little Mermaid, which I'm assuming in Little Mermaid, this version, there's no discussion of race. There's no critical race theory. There's no Maya Angelou quotes. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just Halle Bailey is the best person for the role. She could sing. She's black. She still has red hair. Like, it's, hey.
I'm telling you, they get out. It's the lunacy of white supremacy. It's insane.
They gonna be all right, hopefully. I hope so.
Or not.
Or not. Make everyone else miserable.
Right. 866-801-8255, 866-801-8255. Let's go to a call here, then we'll head to a break. Let's go to Bridget from Illinois. What's up, Bridget? Doing good. I can recall that Madonna had a Black Mermaid in her Cherish video. Little black boy. Remember that? I know Madonna's a random fact, but I'm just saying there's plenty of, Black mermaids.
Sade was a mermaid.
She was in the ocean. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Was Sade a mermaid in the video?
Oh, she was a mermaid in No Ordinary Love. Come on now.
Yes. Yeah, we got Black mermaids, baby. We got black everything. Black people gonna be there.